as I have said before, what is extreme liberalism anyway? That was always the joke. Too many hugs, too many pronouns, saying no to the almond milk in your latte to save the planet. Well, playtime is over, folks. Should have stopped being funny a very long time ago, but as of Wednesday night, when Elias Rodriguez, a self-identified, unapologetic left-wing extremist, ended the lives of 2 Israeli embassy employees outside the Capitol Jewish Museum. Well, it is clear that the sick joke of extreme liberalism is officially upon all of us. Now, the murders of Sarah Milgram and Yoram Lashinsky are as tragic as they were inevitable. We live in a country where the political left shames people for offering thoughts and prayers in the aftermath of gun violence, but has done absolutely, positively nothing to curb the tsunami of anti-Semitism that has been washing over their party like a plague for decades. See, these are the same left-wing extremists that watched the terrorist organization Hamas executes the most horrific act of hatred against the Jewish people since the Holocaust on October 7th. And then the first thing they did was not offer a thought or a prayer. They took to the streets with bullhorns, screaming anti-Semitic chants like, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." That was the first thing they wanted to do. They defended organizations like Hamas as if they were the righteous arm of Palestinian aggrievement. They committed millions of dollars in property damage, terrorizing Jewish students on college campuses right here in the United States of America. You see, the free love radicals of yesterday are gone. The aim for the head left-wing extremists are officially here to stay. See, these people are not a peaceful, well-intended gang that can't shoot straight. No, the sunflowers have become bullets. One of those bullets was lodged in the hip of Congressman Steve Scalise in 2017 after a Bernie Sanders bro with Trump derangement syndrome decided he would go shoot some Republicans at a baseball game. And a hail of bullets ended the lives of 2 young people who went to our nation's capital in the name of service. See, ironically, the first thing we have to do on days like Wednesday, it's not called the parents. We have to make sure that left-wing domestic terrorism doesn't start a war. Because you see, when foreign staffers on a diplomatic mission get murdered on U.S. soil in the middle of the night, you better believe we have to wake up the Prime Minister before the world wakes up on the precipice of the next World War, lest we forget how the First World War actually started. You see, that radical extreme liberalism, folks, it's all grown up. It has entered its grown and sexy era where they can murder the CEO of a health insurance company in cold blood for justice and get not public derision, but liberal fan pages online. And honestly, who can blame them? The apparatus that supports the Democratic Party and mainstream liberalism has ignored the rise of this alt-left for votes. When Fareed Zakaria on CNN sits down with apologists for Hamas as if they're just the NAACP, just a local civil rights organization with valid views worth promoting, what do you expect to get from people who share those views? You see, the entire apparatus that supports the political left has become one cabal intent on pretending they are too dumb in an effort to avoid all accountability that comes from these abhorrent actions. You see, Republicans, we've spent decades apologizing for every insane act by any Republican anywhere, and we're expected to do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And yet the same people who injected their politics into that Dean Martin classic, "Baby, It's Cold Outside," they can't seemingly find the connection with their anti-Semitic, anti-Zionist propaganda and the bullets that inevitably end up in the people they oppose, from the Gaza Strip to now the heart of our nation's capital. See, I'm an 80s baby. I was a senior in high school when the Twin Towers were hit, when 19 madmen boarded domestic aircrafts and changed the trajectory of history. And we believed in our hearts that radical Muslim extremism was going to be the greatest threat of our lifetime. They are not our friends, but they are not the greatest threat. We were wrong. Radical liberal extremism is the threat. It is the threat because it is the gateway drug to our own demise. It is the sickness that convinces you that you can give billions of dollars to an Ayatollah in Iran that screams death to America and make them like us. That a culture that kills homosexuals for sport will accept you if you simply show up with a sign that says queers for Palestine. See, there has been no greater gift to the caliphate than the modern Democratic Party in these United States, willing to turn a blind eye to the extremism within their own ranks, willing to put their head in the sand in the name of their crooked and illogical ideology. And certainly there is no greater threat to our Jewish friends and allies right now than the radical, liberal extremists within. They can barely be bothered to send a thought, much less a prayer, in what has become their greatest hour of need.